you? Spawn. You sent me to hell, Jason. I'm here to return the favor. I'm feeling strange, drowned in the grave. All alone, I rot in my own skin. So since I say, a stronger restraint. The perfect flame lays down my own name. Girls rising. Girls rising. The scars remain, a deeper disdain. A blood field, blinded response. From bitter I cling to the ones that remain. Exile without reason. The time to catch the feelings we feel this like someone is clipped to blow. We're building the power, strengthening the heart, and building the wall. Welcome to your demonstration. All right, welcome everybody. We are back to Spawn Review. We got Zach here. We got Paul here. I am doing okay. I'm still recovering from my plague, I guess I had last week, but feeling a lot better and ready to talk about some awesome comic books here. The Spawn Review episode 38. We keep rolling here. Awesome show. I love this every time it rolls around. And my favorite shows we have, and we get to look at the brand new issues of Spawn. Issue 363 came out last week, and we are about to jump into it. Yeah, there you go. Paul's got one of his covers. I got the other cover, which just give me a Brett Booth cover. That's all I'm saying. Let's just pick something and put it on there, put the Brett Booth cover on. Let's go. That's what we need, I think, from now on. Enough messing around with these other covers. What do you guys think?
Yeah, they only did it for the exclusive for WonderCon, which was a sick idea, like putting the splash page on the outside. And it's cool to do that too, even if like you can like take the interior art and just put black behind it instead of the actual page, like to one of the splash pages. It still works.
Yeah, you can manipulate any of those images, Easily enough done, made a cover out of, just simple. Let's go. Just put Brett Booth on the cover. That's all I'm asking. Zach, you look tan.
Hell yeah. I'm a Vegas boy.
Oh man, I saw it.
I was saying, I've been saying this like a hot minute, like, way from the beginning. So the artists who do the covers, they're not bad. Like they're pretty good for what it is. I'd like to go ahead, and if I'm thinking about a certain event that happens to Spawn, I'd like to go to that cover and be like, that happened here. Like,
right.
But I can't. I honestly do. Spawn's the only comic series in general as a character that I just can never figure out what happened in which issue.
It's one of my biggest complaints with the Spawn universe, just in general, is the covers. And it's always interesting to me because they always used to have some of the more awesome covers, especially 1 through 100, 100 through 200. It seemed like they always just have really good covers, whether it's Capullo or McFarlane or somebody else, but it was fun covers. And now I'm like, these covers don't even mean, they don't have anything to do with the book on the interior, which I was never a huge a fan of. Like, I don't need a storytelling cover, right? But honestly, with Spawn, I'm kind of like, give me a storytelling cover every once in a while, so I know what the hell is going on when you're flipping through the issues. That's my one critique.
Honestly, let's be real here. That's never really happened, though. The only time that think of something like that's happened where it's pertained to the issue is like Spawn issue. I think it's like issue 29 or 28 where he's hugging the two kids that were getting beaten up by the abusive police officer, or the Houdini cover where him and Houdini are
early on Spawn.
Yeah, like early Spawn stuff. I mean, there's some in between, but yeah, for the most part, it's just him. Like, let's have his cape flow to the right. Let's have his cape flow to the left. Then let's have him with this cape up shot.
This one's
Yeah.
fresh though. I like this one with the battle
It's a good
axe and the
cover.
sword.
Yeah.
This is more my vibe. Like I fuck with this cover. And
Well, here's
Violator was kind of in it, So
I was just gonna say, here's the thing with that cover. You got the clown on the cover, so you pick it up, and my thought process is like, oh, okay, we're gonna see the clown or something, and then that never happens. And it's like, well, yeah, because nothing on these covers ever happened in the book. At least this cover has Nyx on it, which we see in the book. So at least that's kind of something.
I know that artist too. Like, so the artist who does those covers, the digital ones, he's a digital artist. I remember there was a point where on Instagram I was like looking around, and it was when the Spawnuary happened, where the AI cover got picked. And I was following some accounts, and I was like, dude, this, like, some of the stuff is good, but is it like AI related? And he's like, dude, I promise you, it has nothing. Like, this is all like pure, like, talent. No AI is involved. And I was like, oh, sweet. So I'm like, sorry, man, I wasn't trying to accuse you or anything. I was just like super curious if it was. He's like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. That's good to hear. Did they ever use that AI cover? Do you guys know? I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
I know it won, and it got a lot of backlash, but I don't think they've actually used it, which I hope they don't.
On some real shit though, fuck that guy. The guy who won that, he was a fucking douche about it. Like, I'll put it out
in
there.
In like a year though, AI is gonna be like, we'll all be the Simpsons while we're doing the stream right now. Like,
I mean, that's
with us as we're all the Simpsons. So
that's a good point.
AI, I feel like AI is gonna be so superior in other things, and it's not even gonna matter.
Oh, it's for sure. It's gonna take over in a lot of mediums, no doubt.
I want to be a Simpsons character while we're on, or we're all Spawn, like, on this thing.
Just have the Spawn review, and we're all Simpson characters. Yeah, that'd be. Or better yet, we're Spawn characters.
All Spawns.
Maybe we could. Yeah, I could get down with that. That might be cool. All right, let's say hi to the chat real quick. Paul Pendring was number 1 in the chat and number 1 in the hearts. Great to see you, brother. As always, for being here. That means you are.
You're number 1.
Whoa. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you are. Great to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. We have Hail the Lore as well in the house. Paulus Arts is here, rocking. We have Dennis Kelly says, what up, all? Hail Joe, Sean. Hail the chat. April has been a busy motherfucker. I hope you are feeling better. Thank you, man. I am. I'm feeling a lot better than I was. That's for sure. My voice is still trying to get back to 100%. A little bit of the cough is still there, but I'm glad to be back streaming with everybody. Twisted Dreams is in the house. Great to see you, brother.
Subject's notes. The extraction theory papers. Am I the only one who did the reading?
So I'll be really late for the show, but I love you all. Love you too, man. And you know it. You can just go back and watch it. It's all good. All good. We got Heath Ward in the house. Cosmic Studios, rock and rolling, member of the channel. As always, it feels so good to have the members in the chat tonight. We have Apex in the house as well. Hail, Ronan Joe. Hail, my friend. Christopher Bouchard's in the house. Great to see you, my friend.
Hopefully I saw some of these people in Vegas. That would have been fucking awesome.
Actually, give a shout out in the chat if you guys ran into Zach in Vegas over the last week. You guys there for a week?
Yeah, I was there for 4 days.
Damn.
Did you watch any wrestling?
Oh yeah.
No, dude. I flew out Friday at like 8:30 at night. If I knew that wrestling was gonna be there, I probably would have extended it to Saturday.
Yeah. That was good timing for you guys to be out there. I watched Mania both nights. It was okay.
John Cena winning.
Cena was cooking on Raw right now, and Randy Orton just took him out. I'm ready.
I saw that, man. I kind of was disappointed. Like, I was running late for the show. I kind of wanted to catch the beginning of Raw to see how everything started out, and I caught a glimpse on X of RKO to Cena, and I was like, "Oh man, come on!" I'll check it out after the show. Matt LaRock is in the house. Great to see you, as well as Pizza. Pizza is here. Matt LaRock says that's the biggest problem with comics when covers have nothing to do with the interior art or the story. Like I said before, it never bothered me before. Starting to get to me now. I need more.
My uncle,
as long as it's Spawn, though, it's cool. Like, I fuck with like a Spawn cover. Like, some of the covers will have random characters. I like it when it's like Spawn.
What's funny is that my uncle is a huge hater on that. Like he's like old style comic like reader.
Like
we all
old school,
like old school. He's like, man, I fucking hate it when I buy a comic book and I think that there's something that's on the cover it doesn't happen in the book, or if the same art, if there's a different artist who's doing the cover and then the inside of it is shit. I'm like, I get it, like, but at the same time, some of the art is pretty good though, like for some of the stuff, but I get it.
I think if it was Brett Booth doing the covers and it still didn't have like a story element to it, I would still be fine because the art would be fire. I think my biggest issue is that you have artists have nothing to do with the book. They're gracing the cover of the book. And to me, the cover is sacred. You either do the interior art or you do an artist that's like a well-established variant, known name, like McFarlane or Capullo. I'd be fine with that as well. But some of these covers, I mean, the art's okay, not bad. I mean, this, again, I'm not a big digital fan or a fan of digital art, but I thought this was actually pretty cool. Like this was and it looks a lot better in the digital version than on the printed version, I'll say.
Yeah, it definitely pops. It's definitely more like the animated video game style.
Oh yeah,
and they use this guy a lot, but not my favorite. But
like
it is what it is. I like the vibe.
Yeah, the vibe is good. Like Nyx has just got a good design, so it's kind of cool to see that. But yeah, they definitely use that
very original
quite a bit. Okay, so we got Spawn 363, which is the brand new issue that came out last Wednesday, with script and plot by Todd McFarlane, art by Brett motherfucking Booth, inks by Adelso Corona, and colors by Robert Nugent. Guys are kicking ass on this book as they have been all along, and this picks right up from 362, where we see the reveal that the Mandarin Spawn is actually dun 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 Wanda in the flesh, as they are sitting here in this in the darkness that he sucked them both into. Now, guys, I just have to take a victory lap here. All right, just for 2 seconds. But I remember when we looked at 350 or 362, and I said specifically, I was like, I don't think this is Wanda, right? I was like, I think this is there's something going on, something with the dialogue here. It doesn't quite sound like Wanda's. This is a little fishy. And I'm not going to take it just yet. There's a couple pages to go, but we'll get there. And then I want to take my victory lap because I was right. One of the few times in this place that I am actually right in this kind of stuff. Overall, though, what do you think of the issue itself and diving into where we're at, Paul?
I think it's a build-up issue for sure. Stacking up what's going on. I like the designs that they showed in this issue for the build-up, and I definitely, overall it was a great book. It had its beginning, middle, and end, and it's officially $3.99. Bum.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to even cover that. Great point. We'll talk about that for a second. Spawn for the longest time has been $2.99, and it's been awesome. And they've kept that price down. It's underpriced as far as the comic books of today. Even Image comic books was one of the cheaper books on the shelf, so we always gave it high praise that it was $2.99. With this issue, they bumped everything up to $3.99. So some people it rubbed the wrong way. I'm going to say this though, because they've kept it so cheap for so long, I'm not going to freak out that it went up $1. It's still one of the cheaper books on the shelves at $3.99. So I'm not going to freak out about it. I'm not going to make a big deal or be butthurt that they raised it $1. I'm happy to pay the $1 for the Spawn books because I love it that much and the story is that great, and I'll support Brett Booth and Todd McFarlane and all those guys. So I'm not making a big deal out of it. I mean, did it affect you guys at all that it went up to $3.99?
I would pay up to $5.
Oh shit! Well, don't give them ideas, but I'm right there with you.
You know what I mean? But because there's certain books, Marvel books now are $5.99, and most DC books, if it's not the cover A, they're $5.99.
Yeah,
and some Marvel books are $7.99.
Oh my
Lord. we don't.
The Aliens versus Avengers is $7.99. It is a hefty book. It's
that's insane.
That's 30 or 40 pages each one, but it's like it definitely. I forgot who the artist is, but it's like that painted art style. And but still, it's like that's why I didn't get issue 3 of that. It's like $7.99 3 times in a row. It's like I could buy a video game.
Yep. Yeah, that's ridiculous to me.
It's fucking true though. Like,
so it's like it's just like picking and choosing. I like getting trades. I feel like trades of the older stuff. I've been snagging them up.
Yeah,
that does suck though, because it's like, right? Because we're at the fans are at a crossroad where they'd be like, I can't wait for this event. I want to fucking pick it up, but you know what? I'll just wait for the collected edition because at least it'll be cheaper and I'll have it all at once.
And
That's
that
gonna tell
sucks.
you something, dude. It fucking blows.
Yeah, that sucks.
Especially when they're $5 each, and then think like $6, do the math.
What I don't get though is that even that when it was $2.99 or now that it's $3.99, the quality of this book is still good. You got the nice 10-point, cover, cardstock cover to it. The paper is thicker than most books, and you get like Marvel and stuff, and they're charging this exorbitant amount of price, $5.99 to $7.99, and the paper quality is less. So you're still getting a cheaper book with Spawn with better quality, in my opinion. So I got no complaints. Zach, I think you got an echo.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, someone wrote 15 years, $2.99. No, at 300, he made it $2.99. It was like after COVID or something, or like before COVID.
Yeah, he lowered it. Yeah, right around the COVID. I remember because I always thought that was cool. Like the rest of the industry is freaking out and stuff, and he's like, "I'm going to make stuff cheaper for people." And he lowered it to $2.99. It's been that way for like 5 years now. So I mean, no complaints. I think, hell yeah, keep on going. I'll pay $3.99, no problem.
Yeah, the art is the best interior art in any book every single month by like a decent amount. Like there's certain artists that are like, of course, really good, but like this is definitely very well done.
Yeah, Brett's absolutely killing it. So in the book, we get to see Al's face here, and this is still something that confuses the hell out of me. Maybe you guys can explain this to me, or maybe somebody in the chat can explain this to me, but how the hell do we every once in a while just see Al's face completely fine, but the majority of the time we see the hamburger face or the classic, just burnt to shit face? I don't get it. Somebody explain this to me.
He's a chameleon, bro.
So basically,
he has his powers.
I look at it this way, right?
Okay.
Like
maybe that guy.
I look at it this way, where Wanda is probably the only person that he feels that he's extremely comfortable and susceptible to show his face to, his actual face, instead of his like the hamburger face, because that's what she sees him as, not like this demon. So I think he puts on that facade of what his face used to be just to ease her, like to not remind her that he is what he is.
I guess that could be because I've seen in King Spawn, he has his real face every once in a while, even when he didn't have his power, and that was something that confused me as well.
Yeah, I see.
I'm just like,
they do so well to like explain how his powers are, but the two things that's always a pain in the ass is like, how is he's able to shift his face like back and forth, and how do you read the fucking power gauge?
Yeah, like I don't mind it. Like it's cool to see his real face every once in a while. But it confuses the hell out of me. So I just had to ask the question. So obviously the fighting between him and the Mandarin Spawn ended as soon as I got that echo in there again, Zach.
Damn it.
Yeah, professionalism. I like it. As soon as he finds out that she is, or that he or she is Wanda, and then just simply boom, done fighting, and it's just the questioning starts happening. Is it really you? Yes, it's me. Blah blah blah. How did this happen? And basically the explanation she gives Al is that they took her soul and trapped it into Mandarin Spawn's body, which was something we speculated about the last time we looked at the newest issue. But at this point, are you guys buying this at all? Like when I was reading this, because I was so dead set of what I knew was going to happen, I just felt like it was a trick. Were you thinking that this was actually Wanda into the early part of this book, or were you kind of seeing where they were going with this?
I definitely thought it was Wanda.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it was Wanda for a minute, and then it switched. It's pretty cool how it switches, and I like the detail, of his hamburger face.
To be honest, I'm kind of in between that it's actually not Wanda. I don't know. I guess it's a good thing because you're not doing that whole Wanda shit again that some people always that other people have aired their grievances about, where it's always about Wanda, and here she is now paired up beside him. I don't know. Like I kind of was hoping that it was Wanda because it probably would have given that whole dynamic between where like now these two can do it together. Like it's something you wish you'd want to see with like Peter and Mary Jane, where they can finally get married and have a kid in the canon stuff, but they can never do it because they just don't want to.
Right.
And you can kind of get a sense of that in the Image where they were going to do that, but no, it's not the case. I thought the guy was going to get fucked up, honestly, dude. He touched on he did something you're not supposed to do, bro. And
Right.
he got away scot clean. I thought he was going to get his ass kicked. Like, that was nothing.
By the way, shout out to John Malama, who is in the chat. Says, hey, Joe. Hey, Zach. Hey, the chat. Hey to you. Also, shout out to the Core 20 that's in the house. Great to have you guys here. Wherever you are watching, please hit the like button. Share this. Let people know that we're live. Tell people to get in here. Let's talk about the new issue of Spawn. And then head on over to the YouTube page. Subscribe to the channel if you can. Like it. Share it. Make sure you guys are commenting on these videos, whether it's live or you watch it afterwards. Leave a comment below. I'll interact with you. I'll help grow the channel going forward. Appreciate it, guys. So basically, there's that echo again, Zach.
Damn, I'm gonna have to mute every time. It's my headset.
Telling you, man. This Mandarin Spawn Wanda version says basically that this darkness is weakening her and she needs to get back to the light. And if you remember the last issue, the Mandarin is more powerful in the light. Spawn is more weak in the light. Vice versa, which is why Spawn brought her to the darkness here. But she gets him to bring him back to the place where she was right before he sucked her into the cape, into the darkness. And this was my first indicator here that I thought was just, when she's like, and my babies, I need them too. Not talking about these guys, talking about these guys. And I'm just like, there's no way that this is Wanda, right? Those are one of the biggest indicators. There's no way this is Wanda and she's just adopted these little midget clown characters. Like there was something off when it came to this, and this was just kind of sealing it with me.
Yeah, I still thought it was her. I feel like I forgot when I thought it wasn't her. Maybe I thought of it for a brief second, but like I think I was like, Zach, I think I wanted to believe too. It's like a little team up for a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe she dies officially.
I mean, I would have been
probably going to come back because it's a tease for something else.
Right. I would have been fine if it was her. But I was kind of happy that it wasn't, just because there's been so many Wanda-centric stuff. I wanted to see
being a cock,
I wanted to see Al like away from the whole Wanda experience for a while, And I thought it was a good trick by the Mandalorian, Jeez, I knew I was going to do that. The Mandarin, knowing that he could do the magic and everything, and so she ends up sucking him into this area or this realm or whatever that's just pure light, which we obviously know is another one of Spawn's weaknesses. And now things change on a dime, and here it comes. Said, you hesitated, my love, why? And then she starts to fight back over again. She's like, this is war. We'll die, damn you, if you hesitate again. And so we're right back to what we happened in the last issue where they're fighting. She's basically testing him, and he gets attacked by these clowns. These little clown midgets that just start gnawing the hell out of him, like, what does it say, like piranhas, just gnawing on his flesh. This was a fun scene. I liked it.
Yeah, I like the little violators. They're definitely a cool design. And it's like the little henchmen like that you have in like video games. So yeah, and the art's fantastic. Like, of course, like this page is stellar.
John Malama said, I should hang here more. Tired of talking about crappy TV and movies. You should. We're going to talk about comics here. That's what we do. Have a good time, too, with it. Smaller panel tonight. We got some that are sick, some that are coming off of Vegas, although Zach is here. Caught that sweet tan there, if you guys didn't see. I saw some pictures of Zach posted from Vegas. I'll just keep that to myself. But it seemed like it was a good time. A lot of man love, maybe. I don't know.
Vegas was a good trip.
Maybe I'll go next time. We'll see what happens.
Joe, I think that was the fan in the background. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but if it is still an echo,
sounded good. Sounded good.
Sound better.
This is where we kind of get into this whole thing. So this whole Wanda experience here, she starts to attack him again, sends these clowns attacking him, and then just stabs him right through the chest with this lance. And that's kind of how we end this scene. And I like the pacing in this book. I always think it's fun to end the scene on a cliffhanger where you're doing a page turn and you're going to you're slow down for a second. We're going to go now see what's going on in hell with Nyx. I like that a lot.
Yeah, you got to cut it. It's a good transition. It's like a perfectly placed comic book. This one for sure, and I like what they did with the if it's down a little bit, right? The head of the being that they make. I love that they changed it because I thought originally it was just going to be a bunch of monsters mashed together, but like that the headpiece that
Oh,
they put on
yeah, like it's
the
kind of more
character,
formed because last time we saw it, it was still just it was being formed,
it's
right,
kind
with
of
all
like a
the
baby.
bodies and stuff. Yeah, yeah. And it's got a little bit more of a form to it in this book, and with some really cool art we're gonna see coming up. But Nyx is basically it's like it's perfect, but we need Simmons to ignite it. Now I have no idea what that means because we see this creature throughout the book being powered and acting on its own. So what do you think the igniting, like Simmons to ignite it, what do you think that means? Like to somehow charge it up with power or to make it unstoppable? What do you think is going to happen when it comes to Simmons and this kaiju thing?
Oh, he's a core battery. I think that's what he is.
Explain that.
So Al Simmons is the first Hellspawn to lose his powers and yet gain them. And like they're continuing to grow. He's the only one to go ahead and do that. That means he probably has a special attribute on how to hone his powers and use it in a different way than any other Hellspawn can be able to do in the past, which Nyx would know because she's now the ruler of hell, and therefore she needs that attribute from him because he's the only Hellspawn to do that, to go ahead and maybe supercharge this beast to go ahead and take over hell. I mean, take over
Mm,
heaven.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, that's where my guess is. I think he's a battery.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting. My mind wasn't going there, but I like it. I do like this, we do have a little bit more of a formed face here. He's got like this kind of skull
Yeah,
face
that's
now with
original.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
before it was like the thing I sent you with the Rick Grimes 2000, where it was like all the zombies like mashed up together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And like
yeah. Yep.
this is original, has the face, it's scary, it's bigger, the structure.
Yeah.
I
Just
wish
looks
I came
epic.
out with it first.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Every time I see something like this in a book, I'm just like, fuck, why didn't I think of this? Like, this is
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, this is just this is a double page spread if you guys got the physical copy. So it pops in the book, is beautifully drawn, and it just gives us a good shot at this kaiju creature that Nyx is powering up to kind of take on heaven. And apparently we need he or she needs Al to kind of ignite it. But she says here in this, she said, let the other gods of the universe learn that heaven will merely be the first of my conquests. So I mean, she's got like this massive thought of taking over like everything. Not just heaven, not the war between heaven and hell, the vampires, green world, or whatever it is, but she's got a greater scale plan going on. And I like these glimpse just a little bit, just sprinkled in here in the story as we're all kind of
See,
just gazing on this beautiful art here, but just a little bit of a sprinkled in of what her plan is.
so I think that was a deliberate thing on a writing
Oh,
standpoint,
absolutely.
where it's like she specifically said gods of the universe, right? So it's like,
Hmm.
so there's heaven and hell, and then there's other multiple planes. So green world, she obviously is referenced, but yet there's probably a huger cosmic scale of different types of dimensions. Um, man, I that statement just opened up a huge door in the Spawn universe, to indicate where, like, to me, where I was saying before, is Spawn has, like, Al Simmons specifically has the ability to create an own realm. That statement that she said makes what I was saying prior to this stream, um,
Yeah.
yeah, bear fruit. Like he can create, he himself can be a god and create his own realm and still fight this heaven hell war. So heaven and hell are always going to be, the upper, like it's like a pyramid. They're at the way top. So in order, and then
Interesting.
right underneath it is like all the other planes of reality. And then like where green world would kind of be like in that section, and then you have earth.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. I mean, that is an interesting statement by her because we all know that in this universe, in Todd's religious order of Spawn, that God and Satan and a lot of those gods are just gods exist with other gods. It's not necessarily like the creator god of Christian aspects or anything like that. So it does make it like a bigger, grander kind of what would you say, not galactic? I don't know, whatever. But it does make it bigger. So I mean, I feel like her plans are definitely more focused on just what we're seeing here, and this is like the first step. We got Sam Vargas in the house as the kaiju mask looks very similar to Chapel. I'm just saying.
Let me ask you something.
It does a little bit. Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Would it be corny if there was a Spawn verse? Like a Spider-Verse or like Bat Metal? Like it's like a
That's what they're doing with Rat City. That's Rat City.
I was just gonna say they kind of are, yeah, with Rat City.
That literally is Rat City. It's like multiple dimension Spawn shit.
Yep.
Right, but like this is where it trickles in. Like, what if what's going on is like what's about to trigger this huge event?
Oh, please, no multiverse.
Do a Spawn multiverse.
Can't do it. I can't do it.
It does not make sense though for Spawn. Out of
I can't.
Listen, I get it's cheesy as fuck. I really do, and I agree with you that it shouldn't happen, even though I brought it up. But
I wouldn't care if it happened if there was a reason behind it and if it was cool, because I mean you're already getting all these multiple spawns all the time, right? From different ages or different places. Now you got Rat City, so you have a different dimension spawn. It just makes sense. It's just part of the comic book world, in my opinion, the whole multiverse. Like everybody does it. It's part of it's. I mean, why not? Like if you have the ability to do it, I have no problem with doing it as long as it's done correctly and it's not done in a cheap way just to do it. I mean, think of an epic scale when you have the multiverse. If you had a multiverse spawn, right, where maybe Nyx is trying to take over all of the multiverse of the Spawn universe. And we're not saying this is happening. It was brought up by Zach, so I'm entertaining the thought here a little bit. And so you could have an epic battle. It would be interesting. I don't know.
Like, fuck that noise.
I wouldn't care. It wouldn't bother me. Also, we got Rick Saylor in the house. Great to see you, brother. Member of the channel. Sheldon Martin, member of the channel, is in here as well. Great to see you. Imagine this: 2 multiverses. Think about it.
Oh my god, dude!
See, now that's the next step.
Can you get?
That's the next step right there. Next person to pull that off. Let's go. And we get to the U.S. Pentagon, and you get these heads of the military talking about the all these things that are going on across the United States, caused by the essentially was the returning of Spawn's powers from 2 issues ago with that big green flash, and they even kind of bring it in here. They're kind of speculating who's it, is it different countries, like all this kind of stuff. Some interesting dialogue. To me, like kind of a filler aspect to the book as we're transitioning back to the Spawn Mandarin fight here. But I didn't really grab anything specifically out of this of importance. Did you, Paul?
Nah, it's just maybe he's important because they gave him a big scar.
You, the character, right? Yeah.
It's definitely another new addition, right? I've never seen this guy before.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm not sure who this general is. But yeah, he's got a scar.
Old white guy with a grudge.
Old white guy with a grudge.
he's probably like another Spawn. Who knows? This is it. This is the Spawn verse.
No way. Issue 360. And then bam, back to driving it in.
There we go. And again, I like the pacing, right? We took just a slight break to see what Nyx is doing, a slight break to kind of set up this other story that's going to pay off in the rest of the issue, and then boom, right back to this impaled Spawn. And we're again kind of just wondering, like, what the hell is going on with this Wanda character? And she's right back to what she was saying before in the issue before. You say you want to save humanity now. My sword won't kill you, but it will delay it will be delayed while you regenerate. And this is, I love this scene right here with the face.
Yeah.
So what happens if the delay comes when your enemies are attacking? How does that protect humanity? You failed your test. This whole thing is just like one big Mr. Miyagi to Danielson test, with Spawn. It still is, where this character, Wanda, Mandarin Spawn, is thinking they're trying to teach or figure out Spawn in some way. It's like, you aren't good enough to be our leader, going back to the last issue, because you did this, because you failed at this, because you're slow at whatever. You let your emotions drive your actions. Is why you can never lead us, right back again. And that's why I was like, here we go. Here's the twist. And this is what we were talking about in the last issue. I was like, this really isn't Wanda. This is just a Mandarin Spawn playing tricks all along, because we go right back to the word bubbles, right? We got the
Mandarin
Wanda word
Spawn likes
bubbles.
getting cradled in the darkness,
Yeah.
pretending he's Wanda. He was all snuggled up with Spawn. And what kind of sick fuck? He's like, yo, let me get these tits real quick. He's like, let's get these tits going, dude.
Yeah, I can't honestly.
How
I
do
can't
those
even
break off?
rebuttal that, because it's exactly what happened.
Like, do they break off? Do they break off the same way? Is that like the boobs just fall apart?
They must. Yeah, they must have. Like, yeah, the whole figure just disintegrates like this. They don't show it. That's got to be. But I love the sequence here as we're showing that this is not in Wanda. This is indeed the Mandarin Spawn, and you do it in just a very fantastic way of showing the facade crumble and break off of the face. Very, very awesome sequence here. And then we see the Mandarin Spawn with his hamburger face. And the funny thing about this is he's thinking he's got Spawn this entire time. This is 2 times now where he thought he had Spawn, beat, and Spawn's just like, nope. You're like, I got you. He can't pull out the sword. It's like the sword in the stone is stuck in his chest, and he's just sitting there. And now he's going to kind of give the backhand back to Mandalorian Spawn, which he figured it out from the get-go because Al's smart. He knew it wasn't Wanda, blah, blah, blah. But again, taking my victory lap, because I said it from the beginning. I was like, there's no way this is Wanda.
Yeah, no way. You said it, you called it, but I wanted to believe, and now we have a titless Wanda with a hamburger face, still trying to get the drive on.
Yeah,
but I love the whole breakdown. I love all the angles that Brett does, like in every panel. I like the rectangle panels. Like, I like that type of layout,
cinematic,
with like a nonstop like storyboard kind of like sequence. So
yep.
I gotta be here. Like, I don't think Al can lead shit, dude. I'm sorry. He's a great soldier, but he's not a fucking leader.
That could be true. I mean, when have we ever actually really seen him lead?
But that's one of his biggest flaws, dude. He's such a fucking douche, right? That his way is the highway. He is super stubborn into like trying to go ahead and figure out like the point of view of everyone else, even though he is a tactician. But to lead a whole team, I don't think he, as an individual, as his character, I don't think he's capable of that.
Yes, he does. Don't talk about my Al like that, dude.
Well, maybe that's what we're building up to. Is
we're building up to the war. It's 65, right? That's what he said, or 66. I hope it's like the next issue. I need to see some death after one build-up issue. I need to see some death.
Yeah, I would like to see them, and we can talk more about this when this issue gets done. But I'd like to see them start kicking into some of the big plots, because we've had. I don't want to say we've had a bunch of filler, but yeah, we've had I feel like we've hung around enough over the last few issues of this whole regain the power setup thing that we've been doing. I'm ready for some action now, and this seems great because basically he uses his symbiote and he's taking over. Mandarin Spawn, just kicking his ass. Just again, so much more powerful than Mandarin Spawn. I love this where he does like the bat wings aspect. Like, this is just really cool. How he just stretches out his wings, blocks out the sun again because it weakens Spawn, so it's putting him back into like the darkness power. And he's just basically he's giving it back to him. You're the ones that failed. You thought you won. That your tricks worked, and then he's just kind of dominate him in every fashion. Again, like he's like, but my wife is gone. I said goodbye to her a long time ago. That made sure that she was always safe. And you didn't know that, did you? And it's like from the get-go, he sniffed that out. As soon as Wanda popped up. I like what Sean Martin's saying here. He said he seen Wanda's bulge. He knew it wasn't her. That's right. Yeah. That's all it really took.
Or maybe it really reminded him.
That's true.
Yeah.
I still want to know why the fuck did he not punish him or get him close to you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Show him what he would Wanda.
I spent too much time in Vegas.
He impersonated his wife.
Yeah, with the squad.
You're telling me he was gonna let that slide? Like, come on.
Well, here's the thing. I think Al.
Everybody knows that's a big no-no.
I think he knew it from the beginning, and I think he understands what's going on right now. He understands his power level as
I don't think he knew from the beginning and like held her deep in cuddles in the darkness.
That's true. It might have been like after they got out of the dark there. He might have been fooled for a split second, but I think he
Now he
understands.
got pecs. Look at him.
Yeah. Back to the male form.
Yeah. We're like,
But
did she have tits last time? Like we told you, doubting.
But I think he understands the situation that they're all in, and he needs Mandarin, right? He needs all these people to play their parts when it comes down to it. So what's the point of actually doing any kind of punishment or striking this person down or whatever just because he was desperate enough that he impersonated his wife to try to get Spawn on the team, right? I think you kind of see this here with Al's reaction where he's like, I'm not doing this. I'm going to give you your lance back. It's like, there's going to come a time when I will join. Yes. But when I do, what he says, but you will never be my leader. And that's basically it. He's just it's asserting dominance is basically what Spawn's doing right now. It's like, I'm not being led by anybody. I'll be the leader. I'll do my thing. You guys fall in line with me because I'm Al motherfucking Simmons. That's basically all it was to me. Michael Pritchard's in the house is letting ball just slide. What did I just walk into?
A shape-shifting Mandarin.
Yeah.
I do think though, with the way this issue is, I think he is going to be a key component in turning the tides and whatever the fuck is going to come.
What made you get that from the title Spawn?
No, you mean Mandarin or you mean Al?
I mean Mandarin.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Al's gonna have something to do with it. Yeah.
I think because right,
it's about to get killed.
The whole shape-shifting ability is like if he's the only Spawn to do that, he's probably gonna be. What's the best example? So in Spider-Verse,
can he shapeshift or only can shapeshift his interior design?
That's what I was wondering. Can only be like his face because really didn't shapeshift anything except for under the helmet.
He was just Mandarin Spawn, but Mandarin Spawn with tits. He wasn't really going like I got like I'm not like an elephant or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
K.O. Joe's in the house. Greetings from Raleigh in North Carolina. What's up, brother?
Nice.
Good to see you.
I'll be at Heroes Con in June. Come say what up.
Nice. So then we get the submission of the Mandarin Spawn, basically, recognizing he's been defeated. Nothing he did worked on Spawn, and he recognizes the errors of his ways. Is basically like, I submit to you. You can be my leader. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he submitted, and now Spawn is the king of the castle yet again.
Yep, that's it.
Yo, Paul, your voice is like so monotone. Like, oh yeah, he submitted again.
I'm we missed last week. I did C2E2. I had a convention every single week. I've been on the fucking grind right now. So your boys
grinded it.
Yeah, your boys kicked a little bit. I did in 14 hours back drive, straight.
Nice.
That's what I did right after I worked because I'm a fucking animal. And I was ready for Spawn still. last
Damn,
month.
Joe,
I wanted to go last week, man. If I could have done it, I would have done it. But I would have been sitting here just been like,
you have a fucking weak ass immune system, dude.
You have a weak ass immune system.
He took that COVID shot.
The only way I get sick is when my daughter gets sick, and for some reason she gives it right to me. That's it. Otherwise, at 6 years old.
She's like, Dad, I got something for you. Shoot.
Yeah, when she gets pneumonia, I get it next. She got influenza B, I got it next. Whatever. It's just for some reason like that. She's the only one that gets me sick. Otherwise, I got allergies, and that's about it. But I am getting older. Anyway, back to the comic. The rid this world of evil. Let this be a lesson, a reminder, because your powers are too valuable to use without purpose. See, that's the whole thing right there. It's like he doesn't want to do it. Go ahead.
Are we also going to ignore the fact that these people just fucking are sitting and waiting for them to finish?
Oh, yeah. They're just sitting down right here.
They just wait. They're like, what do we do?
And I actually think this is well depicted when you get back to New York City and you got Tremor, you got Curse of Spawn, you got Bullseye, or Bulletproof just sitting there twiddling her thumbs. It looks like he's almost on a cell phone or something.
Yeah, like,
just waiting to
that
figure out what
shit's
the
so
hell's going
funny,
on.
dude.
I like it. Yeah. A little bit of humor in there. Rick says Michigan dudes have weak or soft immune systems.
Yeah.
Not so. Not
Oh.
so. I'm telling you.
Joe's always sick.
I'm
Always sick.
always stuffed up. But my daughter, I'm telling you, if my daughter doesn't get sick, I don't get sick. But as soon as she gets sick, for some reasons, the genetics or whatever, because my wife can get sick all day long, and I stay completely healthy. I can take care of her, never pick up whatever she's got. My daughter gets sick, boom, it instantly attacks me. It's like 10 times worse.
14-hour drive back from C2E2, and my boy says, I ain't coming on. I'm like, damn, dude. I'm like, damn.
I was dying, man. I was dying.
These are great panels. I like the Mandarin Spawn. I like him on the page.
I do.
But it's like, and I need things more fulfilled, because like every single book there's a new side character that he does like some sort of like side kind of mission with, or like a quick quest, and it's like let's push it. I'm ready, man. I'm ready for something.
Right,
I need something popping. We're at $3.99 now. Show me the goods. Show me the goods. I want to see blood get ripped in half. I want to see this monster fighting through the city. Show me the goods.
So Spawn is normally a type of title where
show me the goods.
Show it to me.
It's nothing but build up. It's always been like that as a series. Like, it's constantly building up for something that you think is just never going to happen. It always,
I guess it's true.
In preparation,
maybe
it finally does.
Nah, and 350 was like saucy, dude. 350 was saucy.
It was, right? But how long did it take
to
get there, right? It took like
50 really 350 through 358 I thought was really, really solid, as far as like it was
a lot of
chase, a lot of action, a lot of chasing going on, and then I feel like they've kind of slowed down for the last five issues. Have been kind of slow. I mean, I've liked them, I've enjoyed them all, but I'm ready, like Paul was saying, I'm ready for it to kick back up. Let's go.
Yeah, like where's Not So Angela? We got She Spawn here. They kiss and they thrown into the wall.
Yeah,
we still got from now. It's almost 5 issues. That green guy was saying like the prophecy's fulfilled. That's 5 issues ago.
That's true. Like they set this up, and we haven't even got back to that yet. Go ahead, man.
What I'm getting at is that it takes a very specific artist, like a versatile one, to appropriate all of that build up and not make it boring. So even though people are still on the fence, you could still pick up the comic and be like, you know what, it's all right, but that art was still kick-ass. And Brett Booth is one of those individuals that can get the reader hooked no matter what, even if the script itself for the specific issue is kind of mid.
But like, just what I'm saying is, like, if there was no purpose to Mandarin Spawn, like in the next thing that's happening, I should have not had it, and we should have just got right to the fight of this monster coming into the city.
My thing is that this has got to be the team coming together, right? And you got the Scorch and everything. You got the characters that have already been established, but this is the bigger overall team that are probably going to be brought together for what I'm assuming is going to be some kind of epic battle. We've talked about it before. My thing is, like, I'm ready for a pure action issue. And by that, I mean, not just like Spawn fighting other Spawns and power struggle or whatever. Like, I want to see, like, the last really good action book we had was the fight between Al and Blood, right? Like, that was good. Like, that was a good cliffhanger, good scene. And it was setting up for something. And since then, we've had, like, 3 issues where it's just been kind
how
of
this book ends. If the next page of the next book is not them fighting the monster, it's like, come on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I agree with that. The way this ends, we definitely need to have that monster kaiju payoff between Spawn and or whoever these characters are.
I don't need to see another 20 pages about them before they see it coming out of the portal that was teased in the last thing. I just want it. Give it to me.
I'm right there with you.
Let's get into that for a second, right?
Do it. Bring it up.
Get into it.
So it was a while ago where Spawn revealed himself to be Al Simmons and said, "I'm your protector to Earth," right? I am That was like pre-issue 300. It was prepping up to issue 300. Thus revealing the fact that there is possibility of demons and angels running amongst everyone. So there's never been a serious threat that has awakened Earth, like the whole population of Earth, to be like, holy fuck, this is heaven and hell fighting, right? Because this is all
Right.
superhero stuff. These characters are all trying to recruit, fight, take over thrones, like you name it, they're doing it. But on like when they always do that TV reporting stuff from those three individuals where they report all this stuff, and they always have these conflicting opinions of what it could actually be. They're always thinking it could be global, terrorist attacks, and they always talk about like these different things that are done by people and not by angels and demons.
Right.
Is this thing that's coming into Earth that's going to fuck shit up? Is this the first time that Earth is facing a threat that is like, holy fuck,
In
heaven
the
and
Spawn
hell?
universe?
Yeah, heaven and hell is a thing, and this could be possibly Armageddon starting up.
That's a good question. I mean, I see
Mm.
Eric in the chat. He's a resident Spawn expert. I mean, Eric, if you were still watching, can you think of any time where you had an instance coming up that's like this where, yeah, the real world is being involved in the overall war? Now, I get it. We just went through a whole, how many months now? 3 months where the vampires took over the world, right? So that was the Earth and everything getting introduced to all these supernatural elements if they haven't before. And now everyone's got their powers back and they're not pulling back the reins. We see this thing. So she Spawn here is basically monitoring all this stuff, almost playing the Oracle to Batman role here. And basically, like, this isn't man-made. There's something else going on here. Just gather as many friends as you can, and I'll call back at 10. And she's talking to Redeemer. She said, go find anyone you trust, then report back. Something big's coming, and she understands it, and she's like, we need everybody for this, right? And they're back to the Pentagon, and they're just, again, talking about sending ships out here. The ships got destroyed by this thing that's coming up out of the water. And that must be a different character because he doesn't have the scar.
Yeah, different guy. We're
Okay.
just getting a bunch of characters.
Yeah, just a
So
bunch of
this is,
Pentagon guys.
Yeah, I guess you are right. It is the big reveal. That's why they're showing more of the government stuff, because
Yeah.
this is the point where the demons come through, and I guess like it's
Mhm.
just a different faction now. It'd be the human race,
Here's another good question, right? Because I think this also will help determine that answer in a specific direction. Is this 100% in the world of Spawn, or is this also shared with like Youngblood, Savage Dragon, Shadow? You know what I'm saying? Because that
I
was
think
Everything
it's-
in Spawn, but I don't think it's the other way. Like
I
Batman,
agree.
Batman's in the Spawn world, but he's just there. You know what I mean? Like Savage
Mhm.
Dragon's there, like the same way with Invincible.
And I was just going to say, like, Image was always that it was a shared universe, yes, but all of the companies under Image had their own kind of lore and their own kind of world events going
Right.
on that didn't really affect each other unless they decided to cross over, and then it did,
Right.
So I think that this is really only affecting the Spawn universe unless they wanted to bring in some kind of cameos, which I don't really see Todd doing that much,
Okay.
He's never been a guy that's really relied on bringing in other people's
They've
characters.
only teased Batman. They've teased Batman a couple times.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then whatever he's doing with this is definitely
That'd be
going
so
to be
cool
a
if
major
Batman
event.
comes out.
And
Batman
mean,
comes out and just starts fucking people up, dude.
like, this is
That's
the
what I
Spawn Batman
need, God.
crossover you've all been waiting for.
It would be cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. It'd be cool if you had some cameos by like Youngblood or something, since Rob is bringing them back and launching them again this year and stuff like that. But I really think that the storyline doesn't need it. There's so many characters in the Spawn universe that you don't need any of the other Image shared universe characters to show up and do anything. And they kind of be really out of their element, in my opinion.
So,
with the whole
Savage
heaven and
Dragon
hell
was
stuff.
only in like the hell sequence, right? Like because he was in hell.
And yeah, and we're talking way back in issues like 52 or 50, 50, 51, 52 when that happened, and that was kind of more back in the day, where now it's like, Todd made this universe so that he didn't have to rely on anybody. He could just do his own thing. And I think that's, I don't think we're going to see any other Image characters pop up, you know. But the setup here with the humans, the army is realizing something's happening. All these whirlpools are happening around the our territories or whatever, just swallowing up ships, destroying helicopters. They know something big's coming. They've lost contact, and then we just get this really awesome sequence here in this awesome cliffhanger. I guess not really a cliffhanger. This kaiju character just boom coming out of one of the whirlpools here. That is sick. So yeah, there's going to be happening. It's happening in the real world. Everybody's going to witness it. I don't know if they've actually really tied in to what exactly is going on. Like, what do all the people think of the happenings? You know, the Green Flash, the vampires. Now they're going to see this giant kaiju thing attacking land. Whatever the purpose of this is for Nix, if this is just purely to get him interacted with Al so he can ignite this character, like Nix was saying earlier in the issue, or is there some other purpose of why she's sending him to Earth? You know.
Dude, I gotta be honest. If they go ahead and they straight like if this whatever is coming, if this is the final the confirmation that puts the nail in the coffin that tells the world that angels and demons are a fucking thing, and now like moving forward they have to learn to coexist with this shit. That's a hell of a that's a hell of a jump of an of cool ass possibilities moving forward for the Spawn world, because now like when Spawn's in trouble, does he start recruiting humans for his cause? Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
can't imagine if he would. You know, just what are they going to provide that he can't provide? I mean, I think he's one of the most powerful beings on Earth,
right?
You know, and then he's got all the other lesser spawns around him as well. I think he's got a big enough team to face what's going on here. I even really wouldn't be surprised if it was just Al versus this kaiju thing, to be honest with you, one-on-one. Because, I mean, think about this. Al's got control over the Earth, right? Because he's got powers that control the Earth from Green World. He's got all these different aspects of his power set that I think, like, what was that character that the Heap, right? When he defeated the Heap, he basically just pulled him down into the Earth, right? You know, and this is like what's going to be difference between that and this character, you know, because it's an organic character in the real world now. I honestly see Spawn handling this character fairly easy. That's just me, and I hope it's not that way, but I look at it, I'm just like, I feel like this is not going to be a giant threat to Al. I mean, what do you guys think?
God's coming.
Well, we know that's happening at some point. Yeah.
So hell enters, heaven now enters. You know?
Oh my God.
Okay, good point. Good. I like what you're talking about there.
Theory.
Okay, what do you got?
Do you think it's possible that, oh man, I don't know. This is just like a far out like fucking theory, but do you think it's possible where heaven knows that they're severely like outgunned with this fucking thing, and that they're willing to go ahead and submerge their form with Al to help combine his power levels to defeat it?
Interesting. Well, I mean, we have seen the angelic spawn before.
Right? Because like this thing is completely hell so there's a lot of dead angels, so I'm assuming that has reserved powers mixed in with completely prominent hell origin, right? It's everything was built in hell, but there's a mixture of heavenly components in there. So would there be a reverse effect where heaven's like, yeah, we're pretty fucking outgunned with this, and Al, even though you don't like us and like whatever the fuck may be, but you know, you are like, you know, maybe a choice that you pick, or it's not a choice, where you're going to be submerged with our forms into yours and combine it into this like super spawn to fucking take it out.
Are you're saying that you want like some Power Rangers stuff where Spawn becomes some kind of high kaiju
that'd be fucking amazing, dude. I'm sorry. That would
I won't be
great.
opposed to it. I see what you're saying now. I wouldn't be opposed to it. That would be interesting.
Like,
yeah. I mean,
that'd be fucking sick.
What's cool about that is this, obviously, I think it was Eric that said that, you know, this has like some Godzilla vibes, right? You know, it's got like like I said, the kaiju stuff going on. why not lean into that? I mean,
Imagine if I
go
got a
fun with
DM.
it. Go fun
Imagine
with
if
it.
I got
Yeah,
a DM from Brett Booth that says you talk too much.
huh?
Imagine if I just got a DM from Brett Booth that says you talk too much.
He's like, shh, don't give it away.
Yeah, right.
I don't think they're gonna do that, but that is a fun concept when you bring it up. Like I could see that being just, I think it would defeat the purpose. Because I think it would push it too much into I don't want to say a goofy way area, it would just be too much unspawnish, which is I don't mind them touching on certain other things, but I want to keep it kind of like in if there's gonna be somebody that defeats this character, I mean, obviously it's gonna be defeated. I want it to be Al, or I want it to be Al and a couple other people, or they don't defeat it, and whatever he does, is a bigger plan by Nyx for, in the mold of trying to defeat it, they ignite it, which is exactly what Nyx wants, and now you have a bigger threat. Because I think the only thing the way this thing is going to be able to attack heaven, from what Nyx is talking about, is if it gets ignited, right? Whatever that means, and gets souped up, powered up by Al Simmons, and then she can go ahead and invade heaven after that. So I'm not sure, Um, interesting though. I mean, I like where we're going. It's a fun issue, but I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go with some big action stuff. Let's get this thing going. Let's get to the payoff where the Lord's light is coming, as we saw in issue 158 or 358 or whatever that was, when we had that jump ahead in time, where it painted this ominous kind of future for Spawn and all his allies, and we haven't got back to that yet. And that was still when McCoville was writing, right? That wasn't Todd yet.
Correct.
So I'm just hoping that there's not like a continuity kind of issue they're trying to work out, between the two different writers when it comes to wherever they're heading, because that was a good concept. I like the tease. Let's jump forward a little bit in time. Let's show that something happened. Let's show that something went terribly wrong, and the Lord's light is coming. And now, how long is it going to take to get back there? All right, so let's get this going. Sorry about that, guys. Cough is coming back. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna have my voice, but that is Spawn 363. I thought it was a really good issue. Again, more of a kind of filler issue to me than in the last few ones. I think have been filler, but it's just continuing the story, right? Nothing special, nothing spectacular. Continuing the story, still building up, right? Still a builder. What would you give it? Give me a rating and your overall thoughts of the issue, Paul.
8 out of 10. Art's fantastic. Writing is fantastic. It's just building up. I just feel like just my taste of the month, I guess. Like, if I'm picking up all the books this month, is like a lot of the books I picked up this month was just build up, just build up, just build up. It's like we live in a place where I can look up anything on Netflix and watch the movie of something, whatever I want, So it's like, show me more, I want more, but it's still really good. Best monthly comic still. So we're doing good.
I agree. What was the rating you gave?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. That's good. I accept that. Zach, what about you?
There's nothing wrong with it at all.
Right.
I don't have any complaints, but a 10 is like a 10,
10's got to be like 350, in issues like that. Yeah, no, I feel you.
We had another one of the other ones we said were like 9 or 10, but like this one was just, it moved forward, it gave us that Wanda switch off, but I want more. And I hopefully that next issue is them fighting the kaiju,
Yeah, I agree. Zach?
I give it a 9. Everything that Paul said is pretty damn accurate, just for the most part. Like, the art the art is what does it for me every fucking time, dude. Like, Brett does such a great job, and I'm here for the story. Honestly, it's nice to know that there's some comics out there that are fucking, doing really good, and Spawn just, makes me look forward to, just go to the comic store sometimes. I love that feeling. So I give it a 9. Good, definitely a good one. I have to dip to the next stream.
Want to show off what you're drawing real quick?
Yeah, I'm in the middle. So like, it's a double page spread.
Oh, you're working on that Spider-Man piece. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of this, and I got back from Vegas, so I'm inking up this side. So I've been working on it.
Yeah, it's looking good, man. Looking really good.
Thank you. I can't wait to see it get done. But you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for having me on.
You too, man.
Spawnuary. Catch you later.
All right, brother. Have a good one, man. I'm gonna split the difference between you guys. I'm gonna go 8.5. I thought it was a really good issue, like it has been. Good build of a story. Again, we're in that kind of slow drip or slow burn of the storytelling where I'm enjoying it. It's good. I've got nothing bad to say about it. The art, obviously, we say it again and again. Fantastic with Brett motherfucking Booth. I like where they're going, or the speculation where they're going, but I am ready to start let's start picking up let's put the pedal to the metal a little bit. Like, let's pick up the pace. Let's get going a little faster. I've had enough of the 20 pages of build and story and a little bit of fighting here and a bunch of talking and stuff. It's been interesting, but I'm ready to get forward into the fighting. And hopefully it starts with the kaiju and we go from there and we get back into like, give me 3 or 4 issues of just really good action. Remind us of what the hell is going on in the rest of the story. Like, I want to see what's going on with Blood. We haven't seen Blood since he killed Al Simmons, right? We haven't seen Not Angela since that happened as well. There's a lot of things that we haven't seen yet that I'd like to see him just dip back into. Let us know what's going on. Jason Wynn. We haven't seen anything going on with Jason Wynn in a little bit. Downings, whatever. Just give us a little taste of what's going on in the rest of the world at this point with these kind of, I don't want to say plot holes, but you know what I'm saying? Just let us know what's going on with that. And then give us some really good action scene with this kaiju setting up to wherever we're going. And I'm going to be happy. But otherwise, 8.5 out of 10. This is still my number one every month that I'm looking forward to when it comes out. It doesn't disappoint. It doesn't disappoint. So it's solid book.
Excuse me. New pre-launch. What up? 10th Kickstarter was our biggest fucking Kickstarter. We did 151 backers and 4,400 and something, but we did more than I've ever gotten. And now our next one is this one shot. I picked up this guy Joe, not this Joe, another Joe.
Different Joe.
At one of the conventions, and he did some pretty cool art. So I did a 28-page one-shot with him. I've been sitting on it for a minute. It follows 2 characters that debut in Volume 2 of Project Naosis, Voltage and Imperium. And we're going to find out, just basically how they got their start, which ties them into Project Naosis, just like a different aspect and a different way of storytelling in the world of Project Naosis, following 2 people that are actually quote-unquote heroes trying to save the day versus our typical Project Naosis who want to brutally murder everyone. And that's one of our covers that we're going to do from our interior artist on Project Naosis, Samuel Marquise. So follow that pre-launch. As soon as we get to like 100, I'm probably launching this thing, and that'll be our 11th Kickstarter. So
mods, drop that in the chat if we can. Everybody go sign up for that. Don't miss out on that. Paul is doing big things, constantly putting out some really good stuff. He never quits. And that's why I admire him. So definitely support him. Where is Christopher Bouchard? Before we get out of here, Christopher Bouchard says, I can't wait for the new Medieval Spawn series coming soon. That does look good, except I'm a little disappointed if what I saw was the correct from that. The art wasn't exactly what I thought we would see from a medieval piece, but I am looking forward to it to see what they're doing. What I'm extremely excited about is The Curse of Shirley Johnson. That's going to be coming out next month on the 21st, I believe. May 21st is coming out when that book drops. We're obviously going to look at it because one of my most anticipated Spawn books coming out this year with art by Jonathan Galapian, written by Daniel Enriquez. I think Galapian writes it too. So it's a dual project between the two. But it's the most Spawn-esque looking book that I've seen since the Spawn title. As far as the art goes, it seems like this is what we've been waiting for. And the story seems like it's going to be really awesome. We get to go back and cover the story of the little girl that was killed by Billy Kincaid all the way back in Spawn, issue number 5, back from 1992, 92, 93, whenever that came out. And we're going to figure out or find out what happened to this girl. Why is she back? Why is she kind of carry the look a little bit of the clown? And just, what is her purpose? So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be awesome. What do you think real quick of that book, Paul, before we get out of here?
Someone actually commented, I'm excited for that Ryan Otley cover. I think the artwork stands out. So that Knicks cover that I thought was really good. I didn't know that was the same artist that's doing this book, so that's super cool. And I'm excited for it. So I'll be picking that one up, and I'll be picking up Medieval Spawn. Trying out these other Spawn books, and as long as they stay at $2.99 too, it's a steal. To try some new reads constantly.
Eric was asking about the new Medieval Spawn next Monday. Does that come out this week? I guess I lost track of the launch date. If it comes out this week, yeah, why not? Let's look at it next week, and we'll see what everyone thinks of it. I got no problem with that. I'm waiting. Positive guy. I'm waiting for one of these spin-offs of the Spawn series to really hit. And so far, none of them has really hit and resonated with me. And I've got hope for Shirley Johnson a lot. And I hope that the Medieval Spawn series works good too. And if we do that, I'll probably open up my Medieval Spawn Kickstarter toys that are still sitting over there in the box I haven't opened up yet because I was going to wait to do an unboxing. And things have just happened. I haven't got to it. So maybe we'll do that next week as well and take a look at that. But yeah, I think that might be something we can look at next week for sure. Glapian is the artist of Shirley. He used to ink Capullo on Batman. Yeah, Batman also, he inked Capullo starting with Haunt, I think is when they first really started getting together and doing their thing before the Batman run. And he's a good artist in his own right as well. He kind of shares a Capullo vibe. But also kind of his own, so it's not a Capullo ripoff, but it's definitely going to be one of the more Spawn aesthetic, visually aesthetic books that we're going to get. So I'm very, very excited. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thursday night, Otten Stuff. We have Michael Ortiz on, the creator artist of Arachnus from the 1990s. He is bringing that book back. We're going to have him on. We're very excited to talk to him about that. Then Sunday at 10 p.m., the Ronan Joe Show. Join me there. It's always fun to shoot the shit with the chat, and we do our thing. And then back here Monday at 9 p.m. for the Spawn Review episode 39. Until then, everybody, thank you for joining me. The chat, you guys are awesome. As always, Paul, everybody go out and back the new project he's got going. He's killing it like he always does. Everybody be good. Take care of one another. Be good to each other. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
What the hell are you? Spawn. You sent me to hell, Jason. I'm here to return the favor. I'm gonna be trapped in the grave. All alone, I run in